Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Man, it has taken so long since our last video. I think we're going on 6 months right now, but we are back. So much has happened in the time that I've been away from YouTube, so many changes in my life, and it's a long story, but to make it real simple and easy, basically I put the G aside for a little while, and I kind of abandoned it because I had a lot of responsibilities in my life and a lot of like changes that I kind of needed to adapt to. Somebody very special has come into my life. I've changed careers like twice now, and I've actually moved. I moved cities, so I no longer live in I still live in South Florida, but I basically moved from Fort Lauderdale up to Port St. Lucie, where I can get a little bit more house. As you can see, we got a 2-car garage here now, and I got a lot more room here to work on the G, work on other cars. If you guys didn't know, I do paint on the side, I do work on cars on the side, I like to do basic maintenance, and I've actually been getting into the business of flipping cars here and there. So I'd like to bring that aspect to YouTube maybe in the future, but we have a big responsibility on our hands right now, and that's bringing our beautiful G35 that we've been working so hard on basically back to life. It runs, it drives, it's great. There's a few things that it needs, but mostly cosmetically, it needs some love. I hope you guys really enjoyed that skit at the beginning of this video, but as you guys can see, this thing is dirty. It's just been sitting for a while, accumulating, just, you know, chipping paint everywhere. And I think it's time to really freshen this thing up and make it look like the badass 575 wheel horsepower car that it is. Now, before we go ahead and get started cleaning this whole thing up and starting a refresh series on the G, there's somebody very special to me that I would like you guys to meet. This woman I actually met while I was working at the Honda dealership, and she's from Brazil. She came in. She didn't know a whole bunch of English, but our body language and our communication, you know, when we first started talking was just, it was amazing. And when I really got to know her, I really fell in love with this woman. So, you know, fast forward about 1.5 years or so, you know, we were dating for a while. Stop laughing. We were dating for a while, and I really wanted to, like, you know, start my life with her. I started, you know, kind of feeling myself a little bit more mature and making decisions in my life that really matter for my future. So, yeah. Crying? You have allergies, that's what it is. Alright guys, so this is my wife, Diana. She's truly amazing. It's been incredible getting to know her over the last few years, and you know, I never really showed her off to you guys because I was just kind of focusing on my life, on our life, and really getting to know her, and yeah, we've been through a lot together, and we haven't really, you know, shown you guys really any of that.
After 1 year, we got engaged.
So we got engaged September of 2022. We got married December of 2022, and that was shortly after we moved to this house. We had a really beautiful wedding in our own backyard, yeah. And it was truly amazing to have like the people who really matter the most to us here that day. And yeah, basically just to catch you guys all up. So yeah, we're gonna start restoring the G35. We're first gonna give it a nice bath. We're gonna be doing all the body work on it. Me and her are going to be working on it together, okay. And yeah, she's my partner in crime, and we always have each other's back, and we're going to make shit happen. So I'm sure you guys saw in all of the little clips from the beginning of this video, but we got a freaking dent in the side of the fender. We're going to have to fill that in. We got all these vents right here. We gotta sand down. I gotta cut some of that metal on the inside. We gotta build or maybe weld some brackets to hold these down. We're gonna fix some paint that's chipping everywhere. I'm actually gonna color match this with the rest of the car because I tried to do a little clear coat job and it actually came out absolutely terrible. It's spider cracking everywhere. It's orange peeling and didn't stick right. I was experimenting with a new clear coat here, but anyway, we're going to sand all that down. We're going to color match it. We're going to fix up our Spec Ds. We're going to clear those up a little bit. We got our side vents right here. We got to go ahead and, you know, put some mesh in there. We got to weld it open, and we're going to do a whole bunch of Bondo and fixing up all the chipping paint, all that good stuff. We are going to be switching the color on the G, and and we are sticking with a gray. I'm not going to tell you guys exactly what gray we're going to be doing, but it is a Nissan color. If you guys want to shoot your little guess of what Nissan color code we're doing, you can leave it down in the comments below. We're going to be leaving the roof black, probably just shining it up a little bit, give it a little good buff and wax, and I definitely want to do the same for the carbon fiber trunk. Get it nice and like super clear, just because the car's just been sitting for a while, and with me doing a whole bunch of paint and leaving this car outside, some of the overspray kind of got on it, and you can hear it. It's super rough and it doesn't sound too good. We got some bondoed side panels here. We're gonna be removing the OEM side skirts, and I've actually been sitting on these for a while. These were custom fabricated by JF Custom Metal, and we're gonna be putting these on. These are the side skirts. They're gonna look sick. So yeah, we got just a whole bunch of freshening up to do to the G. Mechanically, everything is okay, but I have a check engine light because my fuel reader is not working correctly, and I believe it has something to do with the actual fuel pump housing, which, you know, I would need to get a whole new OEM one, and I have a Walbro 480 fuel pump that is like custom fit into the OEM fuel pump housing, so that's going to be kind of a pain in the ass, but I'd like to get rid of that check engine light because everything else is pretty good with the engine. As far as the interior goes, you guys know we have our side panels and everything, but I would just like to clean everything up 100% in here and just really make it enjoyable to hang out inside. It's not terrible right now, but it can definitely use a little bit of freshening up. The exhaust definitely can use some gaskets. It's got some exhaust leaks, but other than that, I mean, she runs amazing. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna start knocking this thing out. We're gonna clean it up.
Yep.
And we're gonna make it happen. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Yo, who did this? Who put this face there? Somebody did that when I was at Honda. DoubleASupply website is actually now down. We don't have any more merch for sale at the moment, but don't get sad. We're still figuring things out over here. But for now, DoubleASupply is done. Oh yeah, we got a dog. This is Chloe. My sister had puppies. My sister had like 15 dogs at one point. She had a litter of 6. And she was one of them. And I decided, you know, I'm married, I'm a family man now, so I'm gonna get me a dog. So she's a Mastiff Pit Bull. So her dad is a Mastiff and her mom's a red-nosed Pit. She's such a good dog, super stubborn and really big, and she jumps on you and shit, but we're training her slowly but surely. She's a really good dog. She does listen. Chloe, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes. Cut. Alright, we just got it all cleaned up. Damn, I lived in Florida my whole life, and yeah, my ginger ass is still not built for this heat. I will burn in like a solid 5 minutes. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and pull it inside, and we're gonna start removing all of the parts that we're gonna basically paint this in 2 sections. So the first section, we're gonna be painting basically the whole front end and the rear bumper, since everything is easily removable as far as the fenders, the hood, and the rear bumper there. In the second session, we're gonna pull the whole car in, mask everything else off, and we're gonna be doing the rear quarter panel, the doors. Let's go ahead and pull this thing inside. We're gonna start removing all the panels, get it going. just made a complete mess. But it's alright, we're gonna go ahead and clean it all up real easy. I love throwing my old parts, but I just ended up making a mess in the driveway too. Alright guys, so we got all the panels that we needed to remove off of the G removed. I think all that's left is this little grill piece, but I'll get that off in a little bit. It's just a couple clips. But look at how sick this thing is looking, man. This thing is looking drifty AF right now. But anyway, we got our work cut out for us for sure. We got well, only one fender is cut for the vents. I got some sheet metal that I'm gonna want to cut basically some long triangles out of, so that I can go ahead and weld them in the top and the bottom here to keep this open and sturdy and in place. And then what I'll be doing is putting some mesh on the inside that will be painted purple, which will look sick with all the other purple accents. And I haven't even cut up this fender yet, so I basically got to measure that, do the same thing on this fender. And while I was jacking my car up one day, I accidentally jacked it right into one of these stands here and totally bent the side of the fender. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to work that out as much as I can and go ahead and fill it in and get it looking nice and flat and smooth. And yeah, so that's basically it for the fenders. Over here on the hood, we've already got our hood vents cut out. It's looking awesome. Definitely needs a whole bunch of touch up to do. I'm gonna have to cut this little metal piece out to kind of flow with the rest of that corner piece. Same thing here. And all of the sides need some touching up and smoothing out. Where all the cuts were made, there's still some metal chilling that needs to be smoothened out, so when you go and touch it, you don't, cut your fingers off. Aside from that, a lot of the paint here needs to be smoothened out. You can see it's starting to chip right here. I had Plasti Dip over this thing, so I did sand it down and smoothen it out before I put the Plasti Dip on, but as I'm pulling the Plasti Dip off, it pulled off some of this paint and everything because it was never primed. I just freaking dipped right over it. I'm also trying to figure out a way to put some brackets to hold these vents down. I put a JB weld and some metal brackets before, but they don't hold up. So if there's any way I can maybe, it's aluminum, so I can't really weld anything to it, but maybe I can solder something, I'm not sure. So if you guys have any ideas onto how to weld the aluminum or solder it, let me know. Then we got the good old rear bumper, which I actually hated the look of when it had the diffuser. The diffuser was like massive and it held the license plate right in the middle and it just had some deep cuts in it for the exhaust, and I hated it. So I went ahead and removed that, and I think it looks 1,000 times better. I do love these little cuts here in the corners and how sharp it is and how it kind of comes out. It's a little wider than the factory bumper. So we're going to make this thing look good, and it's really going to flow pretty good when we have it matching the same color as everything else. So lots of sanding to do here too, a bunch of scuffs and uneven spots, paint chipping, all that good stuff's gonna get sanded down. Here on the side you can see that the paint's lifting up, so I'm gonna basically chip this whole thing off, fill it in, smooth it out. Oh yeah. And it'll be good as new. And that's basically the project. So we just got a whole bunch of work to do. I'm going to turn on my music. I'm going to put this thing on super fast mode so you guys can see all the work being done to it real fast. And let's get a little montage out of it. Let's get it. Alright, so now that we got all the major metal shards out of the way and these chunks cut out so you can see right through them without any issue, we're going to go ahead and use the air sander to go ahead and sand down the whole surface, make these edges a lot more smoother, and take care of all this uneven paint chipping and all that good stuff. Alright, rough bodywork is all done on the hood. The whole thing has been sanded down with the 220 grit. All the rough areas with 120 grit. Definitely got some more sanding to do. We're going to go by hand and use like a 400 on it and then go up to 800 and make sure everything is super smooth. As far as all of these little areas though, we're gonna go ahead and fill in all these little overcut areas and just make sure everything is super smooth looking with all of these corners. So yeah, that'll be another time we're gonna be filling all those in and sanding it all down by hand. But for now, all the rough body work is all set for the hood, and we're gonna move on to the bumper and the fenders. Alright guys, rear bumper and hood, they're both outside getting dried up so that we can go ahead and get them ready for filler, like the big hole in the side, all the little overcuts and all that good stuff. Now we got our cut fender, and then we have our other fender that needs to be cut. As you guys saw a little earlier, there was a big dent right here. I ended up just using a little hammer, flipped it over, and just went to town, and I got most of it out. Looks pretty good, but I'm still gonna go ahead and sand it down and fill that a little bit just so it looks a lot more smooth. But we're gonna go ahead and get ready to cut this fender now. We're gonna go ahead and cut it to match that one. Let's get it. Alright dude, so we just dropped off our fenders at Steve's house. I don't know if you guys remember him, but I've known him since I was just a little boy, and he actually kind of got me into the whole car scene and everything like that. But anyway, he's going to be welding up the fenders with some pieces of metal that I have to kind of keep the vents open. I'm going to show you guys that here in the next clip. We're actually going to be restoring this carbon fiber hood. We already have it all sanded down. And since we're just going to be laying some clear down, I'm going to take the opportunity to also spray our headlights. These things just got a bunch of overspray. They need to be sanded down. They got some of the clear coat kind of chipping away. But yeah, we're going to get the clear on that while we are doing the carbon fiber hood for a friend of ours. Alright guys, check it out. I got the headlights over here in the car just chilling right now, but they are actually super clear. They came out amazing. They don't have any crazy texture to them or any chipping paint anymore, so they're gonna look really good on the G. Just have them chilling outside because it's been a couple days, and I've actually been painting a couple other things for other people because I do that on the side. So if you guys need anything, don't hesitate to hit me up. If you guys are in the Port St. Lucie area or South Florida, West Palm, Palm Bay, whatever. Anyway guys, we just got back from picking up our fenders over from Steve. He got them all welded up. Woohoo! Check them out! So these things are nice and welded in place. He did go ahead and grind this one down. Looks awesome. It's going to be even more amazing once I go ahead and sand down them completely and fill them up with Bondo. This one, you can see all the tack welds and everything, super strong. This shit is not moving anywhere. But I do have to go ahead and grind everything down, put the Bondo in there, go ahead and seal it up real nice with my finger and make it real nice and smooth with all the sandpaper, all that good stuff, normal bodywork stuff. Now, these aren't super perfect. They do have, this one's got a little bit smaller of a gap than this one does, but who cares? I mean, it's gonna look sick regardless. No one's gonna be walking from one side of the vehicle to the other side to see if it's 100% even. But yeah, these are gonna come out awesome. I can't finish everything in this video, but we are gonna have some more videos coming of us finishing up the body work on the G35 and eventually getting it painted. Check out these wheels I just did for a customer. He just went gloss black on his stock wheels on a Nissan Murano. Looks pretty sweet. Cleaned it up for him. Put the tire shine on it, you know what I mean? So I do little paint jobs, you know, wheels, single pieces here and there. So if you guys need anything, don't hesitate to hit me up. But regardless, we got work on this thing coming back in the next coming couple of videos. Actually, our next video, I'm gonna be showcasing the new GR Corolla. My buddy Jesse just went ahead and picked one of those up, and it is phenomenal. So if you guys are interested in seeing a first look at the new Moriso edition GR Corolla 2023, then stay tuned for the next video. Insane car, 3-cylinder turbo, It's awesome. Can't wait to show it off. Anyway, guys, show some love on the like button and in the comments. Love to see you guys again. Love to read your comments again. It's been a long time, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.